Maxwell's equations in free space. For free space, you are considering the conduction current density J is equal to 0 and the charge density, volume charge density rho V as 0 in free space. So these equations are modified as shown in the figure. So you can see del dot D is equal to rho V, which is equal to 0. And then in del cross H is equal to J plus dou D by dou T. J term goes to 0. So it becomes del cross H is equal to dou D by dou T. Similarly, del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T, no change. Del dot B equal to 0, no change. And similarly, line integral, surface integral D dot ds is equal to volume integral rho V dV, which becomes equal to 0. The line integral H dot dl is equal to surface integral J plus dou D by dou T ds. It reduces to surface integral dou by dou T d, surface integral dou D by dou T into ds. And third one is E dot dl is equal to surface integral minus dou B by dou T into ds, and the fourth one is surface integral B dot ds is equal to 0. Equations for harmonically varying fields. In the case of harmonically varying fields, you can write the electric flux density D as d naught into e raised to j omega t. Similarly, magnetic flux density B can be written as b naught into e raised to j omega t. So dou by dou t becomes d naught e raised to j omega t into j omega, okay, or you can write it as this j omega into d itself, so j omega into d. Similarly, dou b by dou t you can write it as b naught into e raised to j omega t into j omega, or you can write it as this j omega into this b itself, j omega b. So this again, these Maxwell's equations are modified as shown in the figure. So you can see del dot d rho V. Del dot d is equal to rho V, and surface integral del dot ds is equal to volume integral rho V dV. No change. Change happens in the second equation. Del cross H is equal to J plus dou D by dou T. Instead of dou D by dou T, you substitute J omega into D. Then J you can substitute, its conduction current density sigma E. So sigma E plus J omega E into epsilon. So grouping all these terms together, get del cross H is equal to sigma plus J omega epsilon into E. In the RHS integral form, closed integral, line integral H dot dl is equal to sigma plus J omega epsilon, it's a constant, you can take it outside, into surface integral E dot ds. Similarly, this is change in the third equation, Maxwell's third equation. Del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T. Dou B, it is minus J omega into B. B you can write it as mu into H. So it becomes del cross E is equal to minus J omega into mu H. Third one is line integral E dot dl. That is minus J omega mu into surface integral H dot ds. Fourth one is del dot B equal to 0, surface integral B dot ds is equal to 0. So with this, we have come to the end of the fourth module. Thank you.